Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Trisha, Creativemind Creations. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make a embellishment box, matchbox style. Okay, I seen somebody else do one on YouTube, I think yesterday or the other day, and hers is kind of small, but I said I'm gonna need something bigger. So I did something bigger. So first I did a prototype out of just printer paper. I did it in white, and I used just three pieces of 8.5 by 11 inch paper, you know, printer paper. And this is the box, and then again this is just my prototype, and this is the lid. So I did that first, made all the measurements and everything, and then I did it again in cardstock. So this is the box in cardstock. Now I did have to make a few adjustments, like on the cover. I think that was about it, because you know cardstock is thicker, heavier than printer paper. So I did have to make a few adjustments. So I did those while I was making that, and I wrote them down. So the descriptions and the instructions and everything will be in the description box below. So this is it, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to be doing this in craft paper, because black and white is sometimes hard to see, so hopefully it'll be better to see it in craft stuff. So what you're first going to need, what's your sheet? You're going to need one piece. The box itself is going to be cut at 8 by 11, and then the cover will just be a whole sheet of 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and then the first section will be cut at 4 by 10. Second section at 2 7/8, or I think I had it written down as 2 7/8 when I made the black box, and then I had to adjust it to 2 3/4. So I went ahead and cut it at 2 7/8, just in case we could just cut it down, because I'd rather have it too big than too small. And then we're going to need 6 pieces of 2 by inch pieces. These are going to be your hinge pieces. Okay, so I'm going to start scoring these pieces. We're going to start with the box first, and for tutorials sake of this video tutorial, I'm going to be using mostly my ATG gun to put it together. Now you can use any kind of adhesive you want, glue, double-sided tape, ATG gun, whatever you want to use. But for the sake of this video tutorial, I'm going to be doing mostly in ATG. Okay, so on your 8 by 11 inch pieces, now again we're going to start with the box. We're going to score first at, on the 11 inch side, we're going to score it at 1 inch, 2 inch, 9 inch, and then 10 inch. I'm going to go over these again. 2 inch and 1 inch, and then we're going to turn it on to the 8 inch side, and we're going to score it at 1 inch, 2 inch, 6 inch, and 7 inch. Oh, and by the way, this box is going to be 4 by 7 by 1 inch. Okay, so he's got that piece. Now we're going to move the school board out of the way, bring it up broom folder, and you're going to need some scissors. Now we're going to fold these pieces first. We're going to fold in all of the score lines. Score all of those, and we're going to do some cutting. Now with this 8.5 by 11 inch paper that we're using, you will have this amount of scraps left. Now if there's an option I'm going to show you at the end where you can use this piece for another section. I went ahead and cut it on the black box, but I'm not going to show you that yet until we get to that. Going to, and I think this is messy. It's getting my paper dirty. I need to get another work surface. Again, this is the old piece that I had before. So anyway, this is what it's supposed to look like. And now we're going to cut on the longest side on the second score line from the edge. We're going to cut all the way up to the second score line. All the way up. And then we're going to actually what we're going to be doing is just we're going to be cutting these 3 little squares off right here. So then we're going to go here and cut this off. Just cut on the score line, and then cut that, and then cut that off. And then we're going to go back and we're going to do a little bit of mitering. Cut out a little sliver like so. I'm going to do this on the other side. I'm going to cut all the way up to the second score line. Then we're going to cut this, and then this, and then this. Let me see. Again, we're just cutting off those 4 squares on the end, and then we're going to cut out a little sliver. Like so. We're going to turn it and do the same side. Do the same thing on the other side. Now you don't have to cut out the way I'm doing. As long as you cut those 3 squares off, you're good. Just cut them off any way you want. I'm just making it so there's less pieces I gotta pick up and throw away. I just want it all in one piece. So again, you can cut it off any way you like. Let's cut it straighter. Okay, and then we're gonna cut that sliver. Oops. And then sliver on that side. Oh, I'm trying to do the sliver on this side. Okay. So that is what it's supposed to look like. Okay. So this is what your piece is supposed to look like right here. Alright, so again, I'm going to use my 18G gun. And I'm going to first glue down my long sides. Because I did this box because I want it sturdy. So we're going to, it's going to be, the edge is going to be doubles. And so that's why it's like that. So it's going to be really sturdy. Okay, now I'm just going to, wait, no, that's on the wrong side. Wrong side, wrong side, wrong side. What? No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay. Just gonna, again, now y'all, again, you can use glue on this just for, I'm going to do this. Okay, so we're going to fold this up, and we're going to fold that in, turn around, put that on the inside, like so, and then we're going to fold that down. Again, you can use glue or whatever kind of piece you want. So again, we're going to fold this in like that, line that up on both sides, and then we're going to fold this in And there is our box. And there's that box. That's the part. Now we're going to make the sections. We're going to make the bigger section first. Let me pull out the first one. We're going to make these two sections right here first. So that is a piece that you're going to need. That's going to be your wait a minute, hold it. We're going to go back and do the cover first. We're going to do the cover piece. Then we're going to go to the sections. Alright, something's not right here. Okay, yeah, I'll go the one pieces anyway. Okay, so now we're going to go to the cover. And we're going to break out a scoreboard again. And for the cover, on your 11 side, you're going to score it 2.5. Three and a half, 7 5/8. That's the next mark after 7.5, 8 5/8, and we're going to turn it onto the 8.5 inch side, and we're going to score it at 3/4 of an inch, and then on the other side we're going to score it at 7 3/4 of an inch. Okay, and we're going to move that out of the way, and we're going to fold first on our lines. This is our cover. Okay, now again, just like these enforced edges, this will be the enforced edges on the cover here. Now you don't have to do this part. I mean, I just want to do it because if you don't like the fact that it might get stuck, mine didn't get stuck when I'm sliding the cover back on and off. It did a little bit, but so that little don't get in. As long as you put it right down the end, or well, we're gonna do that first. Put the glue right on the end of the edge of the thing, then you shouldn't have any problems of that catching. So first, though, we're going to, where are my scissors? I need my smaller ones. We're going to cut out some more slivers. Okay, so again, we're going to, on each side of that score line, we're going to cut out a little sliver. Come by like 1/8 of an inch from the score line. Like so. We're going to do that on all of these. On both sides. Oops, that one fell out somewhere. Cut it right up to that score line. And this just to take out the bulk when we fold this over. We don't want to bunch it up. Now, of course, on the when I did this on the printer paper, I didn't do this because I didn't have to worry about it, and plus it was just a prototype. Okay, again, we're going to mark on the edge, and I'm going to just stick all these little flaps down. Brush that down really good. Over there. Okay. Then on the other side, do the same thing, right on the edge. Again, you can use wet glue or score tape, whatever you want to use. Oops. Okay. There's that. Okay, now we're going to, it's easy way to do this is to fold this over like this to the second score line over here, and I'm going to put a line of score ATG right here, right on the edge. Oh, and don't tell me I am out of, no I'm not. What's wrong with my gun? Okay. Right on the edge, and then right on the edge on this side. Okay, now we're going to bring in our box. We're going to put this in there, line it up with that, fold it over, and we're going to just close this up. I'm just going to take it and squeeze that side closed, flip it around, line it up, push it in, squeeze that side closed, and we can take this out, and this should fold right over, just like that. It should fold flat, just like that. Like this. And there is the cover for your box. And then I'm going to slide that in. Get in there. Like so. And there we have the box. Okay, now we're going to do the sections. Alright, so now we're going to again bring in our pieces. We're going to bring in, for the first section, the 4 by 10 inch piece. And we're going to score at 1 inch. This is just more enforcement up the side of the box. 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch, let's see, wait a minute, I'm off. Let me see, make sure I got this right. Yeah, 7 inch, 8 inch, and 9 inch. Okay, now, let's see. We need to go ahead and do the second. We'll come back and do the second section. Okay. So again, these are your score marks. You can see that. And we're going to start at this end with just the first 1 inch score line. And we're going to fold that up and make sure that it's straight. And we're going to burnish with a bone tool. And then the second one, we're going to fold this way. Next one, we're going to fold it back this way. Turn it back over, fold it back this way. And then we're going to fold it over again. I'm going to turn it so I can see, make sure it's straight. That way. Then the next one, we're going to fold the other way. And then back over and fold it that way. So it should look like, should look like this. It's going to look like that. Alright, so now we're going to bring in, I probably should have went ahead and did all of these, and I'm going to go ahead and do all of these. Right back in the scoreboard once more. I'm just going to do all the rest of the scoring out of the way. Now we're going to take our 1 by 2 inch pieces. On the 2 inch side, nope, I'm sorry, on the 1 inch side. Yeah, I'm right. Ugh, I'm thinking the wrong thing. On the 2 inch side, we're going to score it a 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 inch. We're going to do that on all 6 pieces. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inch. And we're just going to do that on all 6 pieces. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inch. go ahead and bring in our second section. Go ahead and score that. That is going to be our second section, 2 7/8 by 8. You know what? 2 7/8. Go ahead and take it down to 2 3/4. Cut that piece down to 2 3/4. Let me see. Yeah, mine is 2 7/8. So on the 8-inch side, we're going to score it at 1 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch, and 7 inch. So this could be equal pieces. Now we're done with our scoreboard for right now. We're completely done with that. And then we're going to go back to our hinge pieces. And we're going to fold it in half on that middle score line. And you're going to fold the 2 flaps backwards. It's going to look like that. We're going to do that on all of them. Fold them in half. Make sure they're straight. And I'm thinking I might have to cut just a little sliver off because they were slightly too big. So we'll do that after we glue the piece. I'll show you what part we glue. And so, not a big deal if they're smaller, but we don't want them any bigger than an inch. So I'm going to fold these 2 back and then even. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue all of these down again with my ATG. You're going to put some on the one side, just kind of like you're doing a hinge when you're making a mini album. Just going to put it on that one side and then just pinch it closed, and then it's going to look like this. This look like a T. I'm going to do that on all of them. And the reason I'm making these because I am going to be hosting a embellishment, not embellishment box, but a resin swap. And I decided I wanted to put them in a little embellishment box. And I decided to make this. Okay, so we're going to bring back in our first section piece. We're going to need 4 of those pieces. Other pieces are going to go with this second section. Okay, and first we're going to put glue or in your adhesive down both sides of that middle section. The part that's like this, we're going to put some on each side. I'm going to go ahead and do both parts. I'm running out of tape, that's why I was doing that. Okay, now we're going to, like this is the, like this, right here. We're going to put this, line this up, the score marks, the score lines up with, and don't go over that, the score line. And the middle score line, do not go over that. We're going to put this score line, I'll show you now. I'll see, this is what I'm talking about. We need to cut these off just a teeny bit because they were just a little too big. Just a little sliver. And we're going to put that, line it up. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this little sliver off. Again, it worked when I did my, put this on the other side, when I did it in the printer paper, but it didn't It was a little too big when I did it in cardstock. So this is how you're going to line this up. I'm going to line this score line up with this score line and right here. So it'll be straight. And then we're going to do this other two the same way at the bottom. Just cut a little sliver. And it doesn't matter if you put it there or there. Just line that up. Cut off a little sliver on this side. And then we're going to put it, line it up. Again, don't go over that score mark. Don't go over this score line. Or no, the one in the middle. Don't go over the score line in the middle. Well, don't really need to go with neither one of them, but definitely don't go in the one in the middle. Okay, now we're going to take this and I'm just going to fold this over to close this. And so you're going to have that. I'll take this, fold that over, and there we have that. And so now your piece is going to look like this. We'll open these up. And it should look like this. Okay? Now we're going to bring it back in your box. And we're going to, let's do a dry fit first. And we're just going to open those up. And we're going to stuff that in there. Push this all the way up to that. And then, so we're going to be gluing these section down to the side. That's what's going to look like that. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. Okay? Now, it's probably best to use dry glue on this. I need to cut this down a little bit. Or, I'm sorry, glue on this part. I want to make sure that those little hinges aren't over the bottom. Okay. It's probably best to use wet glue. Now, what I am going to use wet glue on this. Let me see. I'm going to use my wet glue. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put my tape right here on the edge on both sides here. And then I'm going to break out my wet glue. I'm just going to use my Tombow glue. And first I'm going to put this in the box. We're going to put this in, push it all the way to the bottom, push up against there, and then glue it. And that's how you're going to have that. And it's going to be up against that because, again, this is more reinforcement. Okay, now we're going to open up our flaps to the inside. And we're going to put some wet glue on there. On all 4 hinges. Then we're going to work these in. Push it straight down. Now you don't have to put, you can put some on the bottom if you want to, but I didn't. Or you can if you want to, really not necessary. And we're going to push these down. Make sure these are up straight. And then we're just going to bring these in and glue them to the side of your box. So I'm just going to push these in. Now if you want, you can break out some clamps. So you know what? I'm going to break out some clothespins to hold those down. Just for a minute. They won't need to be on that long because last time I just did it with my hands and it dried pretty quick. And so we're going to let that dry. We're going to go to our second section piece. This is the piece that is 2 3/4 by 8 and was scored again at 1 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 5 inch, and 7 inch. And so now we're going to fold on the lines on this one. Just go this one up, and then the next one over. Make sure it's just straight. And then the next one, we're going to fold it back. So it's like the paper should be exactly in half. Then we'll turn it back over. Go back this way. I'll flip it over so I can see. Make sure it's lined up. And then this is going to be folded up. So this piece should look like this. That's what that should look like. We're going to bring in our hinges pieces. And again, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the first section. And I'm going to put my hinge. Oh, I gotta cut off a little bit of a sliver. Just a little bit. I'd rather them to be, again, too small than too big. Line it up just like the other section. Again, make sure that it is not over that score line. I'll show it to you again. It should look like that. Right there. Okay, now I'm just going to take this and fold that over. Push that down. And this is going to be your second section. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take these off. There's that piece. Those. Now some of these are raised a little bit. These little hinges. Again, this is why it doesn't matter if they are too big or too small, because this will happen. All I gotta do is take that and cut that down. It's just a little bit over the top of my box. So I'm gonna cut that down. And it's on, yeah. I did that dry fit. I didn't check that part. So we're going to do that next time before we glue in the next section. But it's not a big deal. So you might want to cut these 1 1/4 inch. I mean, 3/4. Let me see. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch instead of an inch. These little things right here. Okay, so there's that section. Now this section is going to go in here like this. Going to go in here like this. And again, we're going to do a dry fit. Sure. Yeah. And see, this is kind of bunching up, so that's why you probably want to go ahead and cut it down to 3 1/4 inch. I mean, no, wait a minute. Yeah, 2 3/4 inch. This piece, 2 3/4 inch by 8 inch. And what I'm going to do, so y'all don't have to worry about doing this part. Just don't even worry about it. I'm just going to cut this down. 2 3/4 inch. Okay, I cut it down 2 3. I just took that out. I'm going to open this back up and slide this back in there. Line it up. Yeah. And make sure it's not going over the bottom of the prohibit from going all the way down, so it's flush. Okay. Now again, I'm going to put my TG tape on the edge of both my one sides, and then I'm going to use my wet glue for my hinges. Okay, now we're going to first put this piece in, push that in to the bottom, and then we're going to push in this part, push it all the way down, make sure it's flush, and then lower and push this down, and then we're going to go ahead and put clothespins on here. Push that down, make sure that's all the way in there flush, and put clothespins on that to hold it for a few seconds. And there is that part. Now, while that's drying, now this is the option I was telling you about. With that one little piece that you had left, let me see, where'd it go? Out of the scrap pieces, here it is. This is all the scraps you're going to have, but you can still use this piece and this piece for another section, and another for another section in hinges. Okay, so I already made that piece. So you're going to take this piece and you're going to cut it down to, let me see, what was this? I cut it down to 2 by, let's see, let me see. Yeah, I just took this way and I cut it down to 2 inches. I cut it down to 2 inches. This is the longest way. So this piece is 2 7/8 by 3. So, or you can cut it by 3. On the 3 inside, on the 3 inside, we're going to cut it down to 2 inches. Cut this down to 2 inches, which would be this part right here. I'll take it apart. 2 by 3 inch piece. And then you're going to get this piece. This is exactly 4 inches. Cut it down. Well, actually, I think it's a little bit smaller. No. It is 3 inches. Let's see, what did I do? I did something. It was a piece. I didn't have to do anything else. But anyway, let me do it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it, show you. So I'm going to cut this down to 3 by 2. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. It was that piece that I cut off. It was that piece that I cut off of here. I said, I know it did something. So then we're going to need these 2 pieces cut at, well, this is going to be a little bit smaller than 1 inch, so that's fine. When you cut this down to 1 inch by 2. So I'm going to take these 2 pieces and cut this down by 2 inch and cut this down by 1 and 2 inch. Well, a little bit less. So this is going to be 2 inches. So this is 2 inches. So, okay, so you have these 2 pieces left. And this, I'm just going to go and use my scissors to cut this down. Just a little bit. It doesn't matter because it doesn't have to be exact. Let me see. Yeah, it's less than 1 inch. Okay, now we're going to bring back in our school board. And we're going to score this like the other hinge at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inch. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inch. Then we're going to bring this piece back in and we're going to score it at, let's see, 3. We'll score it at 1.5. And then Let me see, that's half of 3, and we're going to need 1/2 inch. Okay, I didn't remember that because I didn't write that part down. So again, we're going to fold this into a fold, and this doesn't have to be an inch. We're just using up our scraps, so we don't have to cut anything up. Again, this piece is optional. You don't have to put this in. Okay, so I'm not sure I'm going to put that in there. I probably will. I'm going to put this back together. I'm going to show you how this will fit in my black box, so you can see it. Now you can put it here. You can put it in here. And you would glue it in the same way you did the other 2 sections. You can put it here. You can put it there. You know, how you want to say, how small sections are bigger you want to, or you can put it in the middle. Anywhere. And I think you can probably put it in here too. Make this even smaller. It's a bit of a tight fit, but it works on either side. So this piece is optional. You don't have to put it in. That's just using up the rest of your scraps from that, from your what you got left over. And there is our box. So let's put this one back together. I might put that black section in there. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put it in. And I'm going to make sure that nothing is flush with the bottom. So I'm going to cut that hinge down a little bit. And then I'm going to put it like right here. I don't know what exactly half, like the other side. I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to put ATG on this part, on the 2 bottom pieces. And then I'm going to put wet glue on my hinges. I'm going to stick it. I'm going to put that piece down. Glue that in first, and then I'm going to pull these pieces in. Let's put some close-ups on that for a minute. Hold that, and we'll go back to this one. And this is this box. I need to put some glue in there. But yeah, this is our box, and you can decorate it any way you want. And there's that box. And because this part, this back piece, or this piece right here, has this section right here, like, you can just push this in to push that out. So you won't have to just push it in the middle, and you got to worry about collapsing the box. And then when you push it out, just take it and push it out. I think I still might cut out a little notch right here to, you know, finger pull, but then I don't want to distort the box and, you know, pull it up. And then, so I'm just going to just leave it like this, push it in right here, and then push it out right there. There you go. And that is how you do that. And you can just decorate the box, the inside of the box, the inside of here. You don't want to put it on the outside, because then you're not going to really see it. And then plus it's probably going to make it too tight for it to go in the cover. And then decorate the outside. And there you have it, guys. Let's go back to this one. And you have that section in there. Fits perfectly. Again, you're going to take this, push it in. Wait a minute. This is like a part that's coming up out of my box. It's like a little raised part, but again, it's a prototype. So there it is. That section right there. Again, you can put this anywhere you want if you want to put it in there. And there are your embellishment box style and matchbook. So there you go, guys. Hope you like this tutorial. And I would love to see anybody that does it, how you decorated it and everything, and prettied it up, and probably what you put in it. So thanks guys again for watching. Have a crafty day. Bye.